Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and this is episode 1 of season 1 of our FIFA 13 career mode series with Swansea City. And first off guys, this is going to be a huge thank you, and I do apologise, it's going to be a fairly long introduction, so if you just want to skip this out you can do. But first of all, I just want to give a huge thank you to you guys for interacting so much with the last video where I asked you guys what club I should be at. And that got over 1,000 comments, and it was just incredible to see that sort of response, to see that sort of interactivity within the comment section was just fantastic. And I'll tell you guys, it was an incredibly tough decision. I had so many clubs to pick from. In particular, there were about 4 clubs which were on top. They were Queen's Park Rangers, Everton, Southampton and Swansea, and my god, it was a tough decision. I even had to come up with a chart with positives and negatives about each club, and my god, it was such a hard decision, but in the end it came out as Swansea. So thank you so much guys for leaving so many comments, and to those guys who wanted a different club selected but didn't have it this time around, I do apologise. Perhaps it will happen another time, or perhaps I'll choose a different team at another point in time. I just, I can't please everyone, but thank you so much for leaving so many comments. It is greatly appreciated. And also guys, this video is going to be a relatively shorter video in comparison to the videos that I usually do, and that is because in this video there's not going to be any matches, there's not going to be any pre-season friendlies or anything like that. It's just going to be me talking through the squad as a whole, and also what brand new features they've included within the new career mode. I'm just going to be talking through that. If that isn't your kind of thing, then just tune in on the next episode. That'll be the proper video, and I'm just going to be talking about sort of squad things that will impact on the series. So what kind of players to bring in, what kind of players to flog off, should I use scouting, etc, etc. In this video it's just all about being interactive and explaining to you guys the brand new features of career mode pretty much. It's not altogether exactly the most exciting video ever, but trust me guys, if you haven't played FIFA 13 yet, or you haven't got the early access, my god, the career mode has just been completely revamped. It's just so many new features and it just looks so polished. And guys, just a last friendly little reminder that I'm only going to be staying at Swansea for 1 season, and then I'm going to be changing club. It could mean changing country, anything like that. It's just, I don't want to be staying at the same club for 2 seasons or extra, because things become a bit tedious, things become a little bit repetitive. I don't know really, it's just not my kind of thing. But guys, just scanning through the kind of options here, I'm going to be playing on world class. I'm not really ready to step up to legendary just yet, and I'm playing 6 minutes per half. And also financial strictness, that's a brand new feature. Sort of whenever you flog off a player, it also determines how much cash you actually receive from that. So 85%, you receive 85% of that transfer flog off, or transfer selling. I don't really know the actual term for it, but that's how much you get back for it. And that's kind of a cool new feature. Also guys, at last, after so many seasons of asking, you can finally play the first season of Europe. For so long we've asked for this and they've just ignored us, but at last they've added it in there. And also a cool new feature is that when you actually have this first season of Europe, you can either have a bunch of just random teams, whatever team you want to. You could have a Champions League filled with a load of League 2 clubs if you wanted to. That'd give them a lot of cash actually, that'd be quite cool. Or you can have it with actual realistic teams which are supposed to be in there, supposed to be in the Champions League and supposed to be in Europa, and it is completely customizable. I think that's a word anyway, but yeah, that's what I love about it. You can just do whatever you want to. And also a cool new little feature is that you can actually change your managerial appearance. So you can like have a suit on. I'm going to have a grey suit on. I'm going to look pretty flash in that, so that's going to be pretty cool. But now guys, having a look at my actual squad itself, we got Michel Vorm, Angel Rangel, I think that's how you say it anyway, I probably said that completely. Chico, I don't know much about him. Ashley Williams, he's a really good centre-back. Neil Taylor, Jonathan de Guzman on loan from Villarreal, Leon Britton, Michu, who I was sort of deciding whether to play centre attacking midfielder or striker, wasn't too sure. And then we have Nathan Dyer and Danny Graham, and also Wayne Routledge. So some pretty interesting strikers there. And on the subs bench we have a lot of quality of Pablo Hernandez from Valencia and Sung Yong Ki from Celtic, so some pretty damn good players there in the squad. Then we have a lot of squad filler there, just sort of flog a lot of them off. Also a brand new feature is you can request some transfer funds, so if you just need a little bit extra you can ask for it. However, they'll only really accept it if you give yourself a brand new objective of either coming higher in the table, for example qualifying for Europa, or winning one of the domestic trophies of the FA Cup or Capital One Cup, so there is a lot of risk involved in this, and it could have some very negative impacts on you if you don't achieve these, or if you screw up in the league or something, so it is pretty damn harsh. And also guys, a new feature here is international management. I've actually heard a lot about international management already, but here's sort of the central hub for it. If there are any jobs available, you can then apply for them, or if you haven't been offered a job already, you can sort of apply for any which are available. And here's a cool new feature guys, which I quite like, and it's that all the tables have been organised into one separate place now. You have Champions League table, Premier League table, Capital One Cup, FA Cup, and if you have a look on the right hand side of your screen, whenever you are on either Europa League or Champions League, you actually have the group tables coming up and sort of flicking through, so that's quite a cool little thing there. I quite like that. And also you have international friendlies, and this can actually be really helpful. If you have a player in your squad playing in an upcoming friendly, then you might want to give them a little bit of a rest or something, or sub them off at half time, because chances are they are probably going to get injured of some sort. But anyway guys, having a look at my actual objectives now, and they're not too bad. We actually have to finish in the mid-table. That's not actually too hard, so we can probably, that's pretty reasonable objective. However, in the domestic cup we actually have to reach the semi-final, so that's going to be, you know, pretty hard, especially in like the FA Cup. Capital One Cup, maybe not too bad, but especially in the FA Cup. And now guys, interactivity questions. Should I use the scouting network? That is just basically the question. I mean, obviously scouting is pretty useful, but if I'm only going to be staying at the club for one season and actually spending quite a lot of cash on it, is it really going to be worth it? I don't know. I want you guys' opinion from it, but in my own opinion, scouting probably isn't going to be the best thing. And also guys, what players should I flog off? We have a lot of players here, and a lot of players who aren't going to be starting. We have 33 players in the squad, and a lot of these guys are not going to be getting a look in at all. I want to bring in a few more players. We only have a transfer budget of 5.5 million, so we don't exactly have a lot of cash. So guys, please leave a comment on what players I should think about flogging off. Obviously I do have my own opinion on what kind of players I should be flogging off and selling, but I do want you guys' input just in case, you know, you come up with a really great idea, and it's going to be really helpful. And now guys, here's going to be the big one, which I'm expecting the most amount of comments for, is players to bring in. Now you have to realise I only have a transfer budget of 5.5 million and a wage budget of 30,000, so I don't exactly have a lot to spend. But guys, please leave any suggestions, it will be greatly appreciated. So guys, this was my first episode, as of course I do apologise, haven't played any matches or any pre-season friendlies, but I just wanted to sort of browse around the new features and sort of have a look at my squad, analyse what things need changing, what players to bring in, what things to do, etc, etc. So guys, just leave comments whatever you want to. I mean, if you want to, you can just leave it blank, do whatever you want to. I just want to have as much interactivity from you guys as possible, and sooner or later I will have up the next episode with all 3 pre-season matches and also transfers, etc, etc. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated, and thank you for watching.